Hey, and welcome back to my channel. This will be the first time I'm ever making a video like this, so please bear with me. But these past few days, I've seen a video that really caught my attention, and I thought I would love to share my opinion on this. The video I'm referring to is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man versus Anthony Starr's Homelander. And in the 1-minute video that I watched, the guy was just talking about how Spider-Man is just better than Homelander and naming all of the greatest moments of Spider-Man while just shitting on Homelander and not really doing any research, to say the least. But in this video, I will be trying to go in depth of why Homelander would actually beat Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. But before I do that, I want to make it clear that I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man. I mean, I've watched him since I was a kid. I've watched him growing up, and Spider-Man to this day is still one of my favorite superheroes of all time. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, let's talk about Spider-Man and his powers. We all know that he has the ability to climb walls, make his own web, super strength, spidey sense, super durability, and is extremely nimble. Examples of this is when Spider-Man did a backflip over Norman Osborn's Goblin Guider and fighting Dr. Octavius on the train, and later on stopping that same train he was fighting on. And let's not forget when Spider-Man fought Harry Osborn mid-air while fighting on the glider, and the fact that Spider-Man took a Green Goblin bomb right into his face. But let's be completely honest, if it wasn't for Spider-Man having something to fight for, he would most likely be dead already. And the fact that Harry Osborn saved him from fighting Sandman and Venom, and the fact that he actually really didn't stop the train with his actual strength, he just used his webs. And don't get me wrong, it takes an amount of strength to hold those webs while not getting ripped in half. And when I say he didn't stop the train with his full strength, I'm going to show you a clip that shows him trying to stop it with just his brute strength, or just him trying to stop it while putting his foot on the train tracks. And as you can see, that it really didn't do anything. But when he used his webs and pretty much physics, he was able to stop the train. And if Spider-Man had the brute strength to stop the train, it would probably look like this. But we all know that he didn't have the strength to stop the train, so he relied on his webs. Spider-Man here is stopping a train that weighs over 38,000 kg, which converted into tons is 41, while going 80 miles per hour. I'm not gonna do the math of how much force did it take for Spider-Man to stop the train, because what Homelander could do is more impressive. So that's why I'm not really doing any math here, and I'm basically gonna show you why Homelander is stronger. Let's also get this out of the way that Spider-Man dodged those pumpkin knives that Green Goblin threw at him, and also dodged Green Goblin's glider, and also dodged the train. So Spider-Man is fast to some extent, because he still got hit by one of those pumpkin knives and also couldn't dodge the pumpkin bomb which he took to the face. You can see that Spider-Man survived the explosion but visibly got injured. So let's not get it twisted that Spider-Man is just some weak hero. He's visibly strong and visibly durable, but he's not as strong as Homelander, which I'm going to show you a few examples of why Homelander is stronger. Now let's talk about Homelander's powers, and we all know that he has the ability to fly, x-ray vision, laser vision, super strength, durability, hearing, and smell, while also having the ability to scream really loud to the point where a normal human's eardrums could erupt. But since Homelander hasn't used that in a TV show, I won't count it. Examples of this is when Homelander flew into a building, looking at Stillwood through a wall, lasering a plane in half, ripping Webweaver in two, and taking an explosion, and also hearing a frequency that only him and his son can hear, smelling Huey's scent and recognizing it. Now let's talk about Homelander's speed. We all know that Homelander outflew a C4 explosion, and a C4's velocity of detonation is about 26,400 feet per second, which is 18,000 miles per hour. And let's not forget that Homelander saved both Butcher and Stillwell's baby while avoiding the explosion. And now that we know that Homelander can go over 18,000 miles per hour, I did a quick Google search and found out that Spider-Man swings at around 30 to 200 miles per hour. Now that we know that Homelander can go over 18,000 miles per hour and Spider-Man can go over 200 miles per hour, we can now compare strengths. Throughout the boys, Homelander rarely shows his strength because he never really has to, since he's the top of the food chain, And when he does show his strength, he's a force to be reckoned with. An example of him not showing his strength was when he let Flight 37 crash to its demise with all the passengers on board, and Homelander could have stopped it or even saved the people on board, but decided not to because he was lazy. But if Homelander really wanted to stop the plane, he could have, but not without completely destroying the plane and killing everyone on board. And if you're wondering why I said that, Homelander literally explains it himself. And in this clip, I'm gonna show you Homelander explaining it.
You gotta go out there, lift the plane up.
Lift the plane? How? There's nothing to stand on. It's fucking air.
I don't know, fly at it, ram it straight.
I don't know, that kind of speed, either the plane goes ass over tit or I'll punch straight through the hull.
Now that we know that Homelander can technically stop a plane with his brute strength, now we have to figure out how much a Boeing 747 weighs. A Boeing 747 weighs at about 187,000 kg, and converting that into tons would be 206 tons while going at a speed of 660 miles per hour. And now that we know that Homelander can stop a Boeing 747, now we have to figure out how he would stop the train that Spider-Man stopped. And if I'm being completely honest, Spider-Man stopped the train in the most efficient way possible because he really didn't damage the train whatsoever, while Homelander would probably completely destroy it. It would probably look something like this. Now we can talk about Homelander's durability, and we all know that he can't be burned alive. He has tanked explosions, and he fought the second strongest suit in The Boys, which is Soulja Boy. And let's not forget that he got a bus launched at him. And for the people who are wondering where I got the explosion video from, it's from the show called Diabolical, which is canon to The Boys universe. And for the people who want to make the excuse that Homelander wouldn't survive Soulja Boy's explosion, you are certainly mistaken going by how Maeve survived Soulja Boy's explosion and yes, lost her powers in the process. The same thing would imply for Homelander. He'd lose his powers but would still survive the explosion. And let's not forget that Soulja Boy's explosion is not just any ordinary explosion. It's an explosion that directly targets the V in the suit's body that completely fries it. And in The Boys, it's stated that a hydrogen bomb is nearly as strong as Homelander, which implies Homelander is stronger than a hydrogen bomb, which is almost 1,000 times stronger than an atomic one. And for the people who want to make the excuse that Soulja Boy is stronger than Homelander, I'm just gonna show you this quick clip.
You really had me going for a minute there.
So in this clip, we see Homelander has Soulja Boy in a chokehold, and if it wasn't for Butcher, Soulja Boy would have probably been dead. But these are the reasons why I believe Homelander would win in a one-on-one against Spider-Man, since Homelander is more stronger, faster, and more durable, and has more abilities than Spider-Man does. If you're still watching this video, I just want to say thank you for the support. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because it would help a lot. And if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and commenting as well on the video. And let me hear your thoughts on what you think about this video and your opinions on it.